So tonight we're going to discuss something that's very, very vital, and one of the mitzvot where the Rambam holds that you have to be very careful from. In life, you have to be able to make Kiddush Hashem. In life, you have to understand, you'll see people in life where they'll lose money in order to make Kiddush Hashem. You understand? You hear what's going on? I'll give you an example. There's a story the Gemara says, Shimon ben Chetach. What happened with Shimon ben Chetach? He told, his Talmidim got him a donkey, and on the donkey they found a very precious jewel that was worth millions. And he says to his Talmidim, I want you, my Talmidim, to give back the donkey to the Arab. Says to this goy. So he says, wait, but technically speaking, al pi halacha, it's going back and forth. He says, I don't care, make sure. And he did it. And when he did it, the guy himself praised him to no end. Wow, the Jewish God is the true God, because why? And he keeps on praising them and praising them and praising them. Why? Because they did what's right. You know, a lot of times in social media or things like that, they're focusing how is the Jewish person going to act. Why? Because even them, they have the chosen people. Who's the chosen people? Asher b'chabanu. They know. They technically know. You know the Asher b'chabanu where they're looking at it. Eyes are looking at us, right? They're looking. How does a Jew act? And therefore, being that that's the case, you have to act to par even greater than what you think is expected of you. You understand? And the greater person you are in the Jewish world, in a sense, the more you have to act towards that. Right? So now that being said, this can answer this very big question. Why? There's a very big question that's asked. Hashem tells Moshe, tell them that there's going to be Makat Bechorot. What time is going to be Makat Bechorot? Chamihuda? Hatzot. Says Hatzot, midnight, there's going to be a Makat Bechorot. But if you look in the Torah, when Moshe Rabbeinu tells Paro, by the way, we're going out like around Hatzot, around midnight we're getting out. So one second. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu change it from what Hashem said? Hashem said, what? I'm taking them out when Hatzot. Hashem knows when Hatzot is. What did he do? He switches it. What does he switches it? What did he say? Ka Hatzot. Why did he do that? I want to read you Rashi. Rashi says, very simple. Rashi says on that pasuk, he says, Amar Moshe Kehatzot. Why? Mashma samuch lo ol lefanav ol laharav. It's not exactly midnight. It's around midnight. But Hashem, if He says midnight, it's really midnight. However, v'lo amad behatzot. He didn't say hatzot. Why? Shema yit'u atztagini par'o ve'yamru Moshe badayu. Maybe the astrologers are going to say, wait, it's not exactly hatzot. It's 2 minutes off. Meanwhile, it is Hatzot. It is. But they'll say in their mind, because they don't know exactly what it is. You understand, back in the day, they didn't have clocks. Nowadays, exactly, you have the atomic clock, exactly the 12 o'clock, boom, that's what it is. Back in the day, they didn't have that. What do you think? Clock is a new invention. What do you think? Now everybody has a clock. Now everyone has a clock. Right? But what? By Moshe Rabbeinu's time, there was no clocks. How did they figure all these things out? They looked through the astrology, and if the stars are like this, it's 12 o'clock. Midnight. So therefore, what happens is, so they'll calculate it, and it'll be, let's say, 12:01, and not exactly midnight, and they say, it's off. And because of that, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want that to happen, so he changed what Hashem told him to say, it's like Hatzot. Who cares about these astrologers? Who cares what they think? How many astrologers they possibly had? And because of these people, we're worried? Who cares about them? Can you answer me? Who cares about them? What's the answer? It's a very solid question. What's the answer? The answer is a simple answer. The answer is really there's a mitzvah called Has v'Shalom, Mekadesh Shem Shamayim, but Has v'Shalom, not to make a Hilul Hashem. Not to, anything that you do that's going to dishonor God, automatically you should just know you're going in the boundaries, you're starting in the boundaries of Hilul Hashem. Anything, remember this rule. Anything that you're going to do in life that is going to seem a little bit of dishonoring God, you have to know you're going in the Geder of Hilul Hashem. There is a Rashi in Shas that says that what's a Hilul Hashem? Where people are going to learn from you your ways. If you did something bad, let's say, people are going to learn from you. That's Rashi's Hilul Hashem. There's a lot of different aspects to it, but that's Rashi. I remember seeing it. So one second, let me finish, please. So therefore, the Geder Hilul Hashem is, if you're going to do something in your life that's going to go and degrade the honor of God, even in iota, even a little bit, don't do it. Don't even come close to it. You know, there's a story about Hillel, and they made a bet. You know, Bet Shammai, Bet Hillel. They made a Hillel. They said, Hillel. He says, let's see. They made a thing. Let's see. I'll give you. It was back in the day. How much is a salary? Let's say $300,000. No joke. They did figuration. Let's say around $300,000. $300,000. I'll give you $300,000 if you could get Hillel angry. Good deal? Would you take the deal? Yes or no? Okay, I'll try it. Imagine they give you $300,000, make him angry. Make the rabbi angry. Get him upset. So, okay. The guy takes the $300,000. He's excited. Wait, you're going to really give it to me? I'll give it to you. Shtar. Contract. Shake. No problem. Now they go to Hillel. He comes to Hillel Azaken. And he goes and he knocks on the door. Says, oh, why do these people have eyes like this? And he points, like, eyes like this. Why do they have eyes like that? You know, some people have eyes like this. Why do they have eyes like that? And at that time, he made sure that Hillel was in the shower, so therefore he had to get dressed. He's emergency. Oh, what's going on? What? This is an emergency. I'm in the shower. You tell me this. Like, come on, get out of here. What would you do? Oh, the guy's got emergency. You pick up, oh, by the way, can you pick up some French fries for me? That's the emergency! Like, what are you doing? Imagine, I'm busy. You texting the guy, I'm busy. No, it's important. You have to answer me right now. It's an emergency. SOS. 911. He texts you like, oh my goodness, you're flipping out. You got me so nervous. What happened? Oh, I forgot my side of the garlic mayo sauce. Can you pick it up for me? What? Come on. Now, Hillel is he's busy doing it, and all of a sudden you have this guy knock on his door. By the way, why do people have eyes like this? And then he answered him calmly, very calmly. Okay, next. He waited 5 minutes later until Hillel got back in the shower. He knocks again. Hey, what happened? Emergency. What happened? Why do these people have flat feet? And he gives him a whole cheshbon because this, because that. He waited a third time, went to the shower, come back. What happened? Why do these people have a bald, flat heads? He's like, so he starts answering him calmly. The third time though, the guy's flipped out. You're not right. The guy got angry. You're not right. He said, what? You made me lose $300,000. You made me lose. I said, what? What do you mean? No, it was a big number. It was a big amount of money. You made me lose this amount of money. So Hillel says, it's worth it for me. He's talking about Hillel. It's worth for Hillel to lose. Basically, Hillel was saying, worth it for a person to lose 2 years of salary for me not to get angry once. Imagine? Go tell this to somebody. Yeah? Go tell us. By the way, 2 years of salary, imagine I tell you right now, it's worth it to lose. You say so, why? You know why? Because Has v'Shalom, that could cause a degrading of Hashem. What? The rabbi gets angry. Is the rabbi? Yeah, it could be. And the more you're looked upon, the more you have to act to par. You might say, what do you mean? He could do, what can I do? What's the difference? No, there's a big difference. Because the way they look at you is not the same way they look at other people. You understand? That's a very big difference. And therefore, what we're saying is, the reason why Hillel didn't want to get angry, of course because he didn't want to get angry, because it's wrong to get angry. But also because, it could cause Hashem to greater Hashem. I don't care. Doesn't make a difference. That's what's going on. Moshe Rabbeinu, over here, he says, look, if they're going to make fun of Hashem, say, oh, he's wrong, Hashem is wrong, look, he said midnight, it's not midnight. I better make sure I'll change my words and say around midnight so they don't say that about Hashem. That's what they did. Because Moshe didn't want them to have even an opening to make sure they maybe disregard the honor of God. And therefore, he switches it up. He says, I won't even let it happen. I won't even let it happen. So he says, wait, let me think. He thought everything through. Wait this, wait that, wait that, wait that. Oh, I gotta say it like that. You understand? The Gemara in Meseh Hagigah, I'll leave it up to Kadash, which Gemara, which page it's in. So it says, when Hashem was going to conquer Bnei Israel through the Nebuchadnezzar. You know which page that is? Which page? Very nice. This guy's on the money. Very nice. You give us correct. You give a little bit. If you look over there, it says that when Nebuchadnezzar was going to conquer Bnei Israel, they were going ahead and they were conquering Bnei Israel. Meaning to say, the bad guys were coming in to destroy Klal Yisrael. So it says over there that Hashem and Shamayim, it made a big ruckus. Like it showed the power of Nebuchadnezzar was like, whoa! He's saying, why did Hashem give them so much power? Give me the Gemara, I want to read it to them. Why did Hashem give me so much power? And what does the Gemara say? So people won't have a degradation of saying, oh, Hashem let the nation of his own nation get destroyed by somebody so. You have it over there or no? It's over there, Shlomi. It's over there, I have it over there.
I have it right here.
All right, give it to me, please. You go on bed, please. I'll show it to you quickly. Quickly, give it to me quickly, please. You have it on the page? Very good. Here, look what it says over here. It says over here, from the north came Anan Gadol ve'esh mitlakachat ve'noga lo saviv mitocha ken ha'chashmal mitoch ha'esh. Says a big ruckus was in Shamayim. What's going on? Where are they going? So it says, Shalach lichbosh et kol ha'am kulot tachat Nebuchadnezzar harasha. He was chosen, Nebuchadnezzar, to what? To conquer the world. And he made him like, it looked in the heavens, in that area, very powerful. Why did he give him so much power? Why? Shelo yomru umot ha'olam biyad uma shefilah masar HaKadosh Baruch Hu et banav. He says, so the nations of the world shouldn't say, oh look at it shouldn't be a degradation for Klal Yisrael. So even Hashem himself has the kavod and the dignity for Bnei Yisrael. It goes vice versa. We have the dignity of God, and Hashem goes vice versa, and He has the dignity for us. He says, look, I can't just throw them under the bus like that, even though they deserve a punishment. I can't just, I'll make sure that I'll give them, I'll make it the world so much power, so it doesn't become Hilul Hashem. And that's what it says. Chilul Bnei Yisrael. Masar HaKadosh Baruch Hu banav amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu mi garam li sheyesh shemesh l'slim avon tam sheYisrael gruli. Why? Because Hashem Himself has the kavod of Bnei Yisrael. He says, listen, I don't want, even though they're going to get destroyed because they had sin, because they got destroyed, I don't want it to look like it was a small nation that conquered them. I'll give them a lot of power to show that what? It was a very big nation, so therefore it doesn't look like degradation for Bnei Yisrael. So it goes vice versa. Hashem cares about our dignity also. Hashem cares about our honor, our kavod also. And therefore one of the things that we got saved, if you look, one of the things that we got saved, how did we get saved? Everybody knows that what? Even though we were on the, look, it says, even though we were on the lowest level of the Tumah, but one thing that we got saved. We didn't go to the rock bottom. What does that mean, rock bottom? We still, in a way, we had the same names, same clothing, right? 3 things, right? The same clothing, the language, we had that. Hashem says, look, you have that, that's enough to have a foundation that you could rebuild. I'm not giving up, and I'm going to save you. And you should just know, we flourish with that. Wow, Hashem, just a little bit, that's what I'm saying. A person in life, he has to understand. We were just learning today. It says in the Pirkei Avot, Harchek mishachen ra, va'al titchaber larasha, va'al tityesh min ha'paranut. What does that mean? Harchek mishachen ra means distance yourself from a bad neighbor. So, very good. You could distance yourself. When you're buying a house, make sure, or you're renting a house, make sure you don't live next to a bad neighbor. Very good. But what's the problem? Now the neighbor moved next door to you. Now what are you going to do? So one way is sell your house. Oh, but until then, what are you going to do? So you have a bad neighbor. All right, what are you going to do now? Until you sell your house, what are you going to do? So the Mishnah says, fine, he went next to you. Don't even come close. Don't even come to the Rasha. So what's the next thing? Al tityaesh min hapuranut. What does that mean? Al tityaesh min hapuranut. Don't give up. Meaning, if has v'shalom, you feel that you did get influenced, don't give up. Don't say, I cannot do it. No, don't say that. Continue what you're doing, and you'll be able to succeed. Look at Bnei Yisrael. They were on the lowest level, and look what happened to them. 49 days later, they got the Torah. 49 days later, you know how pure they became? From the time they got out of Egypt, from years and years, hundreds of years, living in the most tum'ah, and then after that, getting out. And just how long did it take them to get to the highest level? How long? 49 days. Do you understand the power that Hashem gave us? Think about it for a second. We're in Egypt for over hundreds of years. We're in the most tum'ah. We're in the depth of the tum'ah, the depth of the impurity. And then Hashem takes us out. And then 49 days later, 1, 2, 3, you can't do anything. We got to the highest level so high that we're able to receive the Torah. So therefore, Hashem says, look, you have to make sure one thing. Don't desecrate my name. And whatever you're going to have to do in order to desecrate it, make sure you don't desecrate my name. And look, I'll tell you, we have the Bechor. Before the Levi'im were doing the Avodah in the Beit HaMikdash, who was doing the Avodah? Who was the main person doing the Avodah? We all know it was the Bechor. But you need a zchut. Everything in life, you need a zchut for. That we know already, right? I'll give you an example. Aviel, if you look at Shmuel, right? Shmuel, it says, do me a favor, Shlomi, give me my Shmuel Aleph over there, I want to read it to you. When the king of Shaul HaMelech, careful please, see if it's still going, all right? When Shaul HaMelech, right, is being inaugurated as king, good? It says who his grandfather is. Who was his grandfather? It says Aviel. But there's another place where they say his grandfather is what? Ner. Candle. So what's his name? Is his name Aviel? Or is his name Ner? Which one? So Raga concludes, no, it's really Aviel. So why do you call him Ner? The reason is because he would always light up the streets for the people that needed light. Back then they didn't have electric in the outside. But if they had, you have the Shmuel over there? Oh. So it says over here, look at Shmuel right over here. I'll read it to you. What's the inauguration of being king? What does he say as king over here? Daf Perek Tet. This is the beginning of Shaul's kingship. He says, "Vayi ish mi Binyamin, ushmo Kish ben Aviel." So Gemara says, "Wait, what's going on? His name is Ned, not Aviel. So why are you saying Aviel? They're inaugurating king. This is the Perek Tet when they're starting to be crowning. We're introducing you to the king Shaul. And what does it say? It says Aviel, but his name is Ned. Because again, like I said, Ned was, no, his name was Aviel. So why did they call him Ned? Because he helped the people out. He helped the public out. People didn't have lights outside. He went ahead and he put lights outside so people can see. He lit up candles so people can see. Hashem says, you did a chesed by helping out the people. You helped out the Rabbim. You helped out the masses. Guess what? I'll give you a grandson that's going to help out the masses, and he will be king. Because you need a scoot. Melgalgelin zechut al yedei zakai. Doesn't just happen out of nowhere. Oh, something happened like that. Say, why is he? Why do you get this? Why do you get that? You know what scoot he had? Yeah, you have no clue. Of course, you can make your own skuyot. Of course, you can make your own skuyot. But in general, melgalgelin scoot al yedei zakai. You need a scoot to, I told you, you need a scoot to give charity. Think you give charity? You need a scoot to give charity. You need a scoot to come to shul. You need a scoot to go learn. You know, I'll never forget. It was one time in the Beit Midrash, and I was. They said, "Did you say the Modani at the end?" Modim anan mulach shesam nakim shmimash. So I said, "Where's the Modim?" So the halacha says, this is Gemara in Kafchet Amud Bet in Mesech Berachot. It says over there that if you leave the Beit Midrash, you have to say the following. What's the following? Modim anan mulach shesam chalki meshvei Beit Midrash. That you put my chelek in the Beit Midrash, so it's saying you're thanking Hashem that you put me in the Beit Midrash. So I say to yourself, what are you doing? Thanking Hashem that you put me in the Beit Midrash. I walked here. I came to the Beit Midrash. What does that mean? No. Even if you went and you learned Torah, you need a scoot to learn Torah. You have to have a scoot. It's a scoot to learn Torah. What do you think? It's a joke? You know how many things can go wrong until you get to the Beit Midrash? You have to thank Hashem for the mitzvot that you do. It's you. You do your best. And the conclusion of it is Borei Olam, Siyata Dishmaya. That's what it is. So again, you need a scoot. So what scoot did the Bechor have that they were able to do the Avodah in the Beit HaMikdash, and they were the ones? Levim we know, because the Levim never sinned in the Hadayeg. So therefore they took over in the Avodah of the Beit HaMikdash, they took over the Bechor. But what scoot did the Bechor get that he was able to be serving in the Beit HaMikdash? You know what the answer is? The answer is that, this is Chokhmah Musar brings it down. He says, when did they get this scoot? It says, Kadesh li kol bechor. When was that Kadesh li kol bechor? Make them holy. It says, after Makat Bechorot, there was the mitzvah of Pidyon HaBen. There's a mitzvah of what happened. It says, through the Bechor, who died that night in Makat Bechorot? Only what? Only the Bechor, the firstborns of the Egyptians and not the Jewish people. What they do when they wake up the next morning? They say, wow, this is insane. This is insane. Every firstborn died from the Egyptians, and not one firstborn died from the Jewish people. It caused a sanctification of Hashem's name. It caused the Kiddush Hashem. So even though the Kiddush is like this, even though passively it came through them, a Kiddush Hashem, Hashem says, I'm picking you now to serve in the Beit HaMikdash. Even though it was passive, they didn't do active. So imagine if you actively do Kiddush Hashem, how much more so? How much more so? Hashem says, wow, you did a Kiddush Hashem. Oh! Look at Haman. They say Haman's grandkids, what is it brought down? They're learning Torah in Bnei Brak. What school did Haman have? What are you talking about? And the Gemara says, the ring of Hashpirot, Haman did basically the decree. All the Nevi'im couldn't do. What? It caused them to make tshuva. It caused them to do that. So Hashem gave him a school through his grandkids to have that. Could you believe such a thing? It was a passive Kiddush Hashem, so therefore they get rewarded for that? How could that even be? Passive. I'm talking about passive, not even active. So imagine if you're actively going ahead and doing Kiddush Hashem, how much greater that would be. How much greater that would be. And therefore, a person has to understand something. In life, they have always like a question, should I do that? When you make that Kiddush Hashem, there's a story in our community. Everybody knows the story, but I'll tell you really quickly. Everybody knows the story. But there was a very wealthy man in our community. Right? What happened? He lives nearby. What happened? When he first bought his house, it was many years ago. He bought his house and he looked up and he saw there was a basically, like I would say, a box that they didn't know what it was. They opened it up. They saw that it was like cash, $100,000. By the way, when I first bought my house, I was going to the attic. I saw a thing. I was like, oh, this must be it. Going. I didn't find nothing. I remember that. I'll never forget that. If you come now on my third floor, you'll see. I was like, wait, there's a closet. Wait, I pushed the closet. What? There's a door in the back of the closet. It's like a hidden door. This must be it. I'm going to see. Is there any boxes? Any jewelry? Nothing. Zero. So the story goes that he found his box. He went to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, and he asked Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, "Is he chayav to give it back?" He bought it from. Said mi pi halacha, psak. Since the situation is like this, like that, you don't. But if you want to make a kiddush Hashem, sanctifying God's name and letting the people know how great the Jewish people and honest the Jewish people are, I can guarantee you this is going to be greater than all this money. He gave it back, and he became one of the wealthiest guys in the community. Wealthiest guys in the world. How's that? It's a true story. Because when you go ahead and you say, Hashem, I want your name to be blessed. I want people to say, wow, look at the Jewish people. They're the greatest people. There's nobody like them. Nobody can compare to them. They're so pure. They're so holy. They're so giving and they're so kind. You're uplifting God's name. Hashem says, you did that for me. Yeah, God doesn't need you to do that. But if you did that, guess what? I'll give you the world. I'll give you the world. But it works vice versa. It works vice versa. If heaven forbid a person does Hilul Hashem, it works vice versa. It says, how much kaparat avonot you need, just make Hilul Hashem. If you're going to go ahead and you're going to act like who knows what, and people are going to see like, this is what we look up to, this is the epitome of wow, and this is the way you're acting, if that's the case, Hashem says, look, you're taking my name down. You have to know, we represent Hashem's name. We're His children. So we represent that. And therefore, in every way and form, we have to act to that. You know what I'm saying? People are seeing us when you drive. How do you drive? The guy says, whoa. Sometimes it's okay. Let the guy cut you off. It's okay. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. He's going stuck in traffic and you see the guy all the way. He cuts you. Oh, this guy's not cutting me. Let him go. It's okay. It's okay. And even though he doesn't acknowledge you, Hashem is acknowledging you. Hashem sees what you did. Hashem, I tried. And He didn't look in your window to see if you're Jewish or not. He didn't look. He just went like this. Oh, I didn't get a Kiddush Hashem. You did. Because Hashem knows that you want to make a Kiddush Hashem. So even though nobody knows, and even though nobody saw you, Hashem saw you. Hashem said, oh, I see you are trying to make a Kiddush Hashem out of my name. Beautiful. You're going to get reward for that. But nobody saw me. It doesn't make a difference. You're going to get rewarded for that. You're going to get rewarded for that. And Kiddush Hashem is also, I want to tell you something, is every little aspect in life, the way we act, to par. I believe it was Rabbi Miller even, like that said once about if a person on a subway and he sees a person gliding, and he gives something to the guy. He'd say, he's going to make a big loud noise when he's putting it in the push, when he's putting it in his box. Ooh. And people look around, ooh. These Jewish people are very kind people. They're very good givers. Ooh, for whatever it costs, for that little bit, but at least you're causing that name to be great. And there's jokes all around, like what they speak about. But at the end of the day, at least you know that the people are great. The people are nice. The people are giving. But by the way, we are in our make. We are. It says, Chayav Adam Lomar Matai Yagiu Maaseh LeMaaseh Avotai. When is my deeds going to be like Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? You could make your deeds like Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. How can we even compare to the deeds of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? You know what the answer is? The answer is, when you know that our genes, in the gene, is from Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. It's in the gene. It's like, let's say for example, your father has blue eyes, your mother has blue eyes, you're going to have blue eyes. Your grandparents both have blue eyes, your great-grandparents have blue eyes, and you have blue eyes, you're going to have blue eyes. Abraham had the best midot, Yitzhak had the best, and Yaakov had the best. Automatically, in us, We already have it. And when you know that, automatically you're able to do Mekadsheh Shemecha. Yisrael Mekadesheh Shemecha. That's what it says by the Minhan of Shabbat. Yisrael Mekadesheh Shemecha. They Mekadesh Shem Shamayim. They Mekadesh Shemcha. And that's exactly what Moshe is teaching us right now. Hashem told him, Hashem told Moshe, tell them midnight. It's no problem. It says around midnight. Why? Because he didn't want a degradation of Hashem's name. Not even a little bit. And when we understand that, we act differently. When we understand that, we act totally differently. I can't act like that. Why not? Because I'm representing, I have a badge on me, Yud Kei Vav Kei, Hashem's looking at me. Hashem's looking at me to see how I'm going to act. And through that, I'm uplifting His name. That's what it is. Imagine, I'll tell you, imagine the best solution. Imagine you have a person that's a well-known guy. A well-known guy, whoever it is, whoever you're thinking of, well-known, this person's a well-known person. And all of a sudden, you know that your father is well-known. You know. And you're a young guy, but you know your father's a well-known guy. Now you walk in to somewhere, and they say, wow, your father is so-and-so, he was a legend. Now how are you gonna feel? You're gonna feel, oh man, I have to live up to that, I have to live up to legend. I'm representing my father. Are you like your father? They want to say, are you like your father? You ever meet somebody that you didn't see in like 20 years, and then all of a sudden you meet his son? Oh, I didn't know you have a son this age, and he's just like acting. I know your father's very special. Are you special as him? And then you're just like looking at him. How is he acting? And is that? What happened? Why are you doing that? Because you want to see, like, this is what it is. The people, the world knows that Hashem's our father. Says, wait, are they like acting like godly? Are they acting godly? Are they? Let me see. And therefore you're going to get tested a lot. A lot you're going to get tested in this aspect. If you want to grow in it, Hashem will give you opportunities to grow in it a lot. For example, let's say, all of a sudden you have a business opportunity over here, and you could do that, and you say, no, let me show you my Kiddush Hashem that I'm giving right now. Wow. Or a different example, parking, Okay, no problem. It's very hard, by the way, parking, No problem. Wow. Or you're in a barber shop and you're like, okay, I remember when I was my person was in the barber shop. It was this thing. There was an old man that walked in. Now, this is my appointment right there. My appointment was the next. And an old man walked in. And I said, sir, you can take my spot. Please don't wait. He was flipping out. His aide that was whipping was flipping out. He's like, wow, can't believe it. Look. What I do? Okay, you're right. I gave my spot. Boom. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. I was one time also another story. Similar story. I was sitting down with another yid. We were waiting in an office, in a doctor's office. And what happens is another really old guy came in, very old guy, maybe in the 90s, and he had an aid, and he also had like one of these breath, like to breathe, like one of these, how do you call, what? Oxygen tank, and he was coming in. And he had to get this appointment, and the secretary says, Mr. So-and-so, screaming, screaming. He says, so-and-so, your appointment's at 4 p.m., and he came at like 10 a.m. He's like, it's in 6 hours. I was like, oh. I'm telling you, this guy got up, this other Jewish guy got up, and he was on the spot. He says, ma'am, I'll take the 4 p.m. appointment, give him my appointment. I'm next. Give him my thing. They were wow! They couldn't believe it. And I got this guy's number. And I called this guy after he went at 4:35. I said, what happened after? You don't understand? Usually you go into the doctor's office, you have to wait an hour till you get in. I went there 4 p.m. Said, sir, you're in right now. I'm like, what happened? They said they love what I did. They couldn't believe it. It's amazing because this doctor happens to be this like you have to wait 6 months to get the appointment, and it's like a whole big shtick. They have it. The top doctor they have to do. It's part of the shtick, part of the zak. But that's what it was. And that's what it is. And what happened? The whole secretary and the whole place is going crazy. And guess what? You feel good. I was just Mekadesh Shem Shamayim. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu was teaching us. So Hashem, we should to have these lessons and remember them, and when it comes up, we should fulfill them.